we need to talk about this, guys. So yes, so to set this up, the patch was set. They nerfed some weapons, they nerfed the mimic tier, and they did some other things. My argument was, which according to Alan, I was just sucking up to the developers, which is completely false. My argument is that the developers have the right. They made this game. If they feel like something is too powerful, they absolutely have the right to nerf it or make something more powerful. That is their game design and how they want the game to be played. So they can raise or lower things whenever they want. Alan was getting very angry because all this time he spent, which I get, on the sword he was leveling up was essentially worthless now, according to him. That's not true, Chance. It can still be good, and he will still beat the game
I
if he
use
really
both,
wanted to with
so
that
I
weapon.
keep it as a backup because it has helped with some of the bosses that I've gone to. What's so frustrating about it though was like you say, yeah, they have every right. Why? What were they solving? What problem were they who gained from them nerfing that weapon? This isn't Destiny, this isn't Halo where they're nerfing something like that. Like what did they gain from doing that?
Because according to them, they saw these people exploiting this weapon that was too powerful on YouTube, and they're like, "That's not how the game is supposed to be played. That wasn't the intent
But there's
of our
always
weapon that we
cheese things.
created."
There's always cheeses, right? Like,
But these were clearly so cheesy that they needed to be nerfed.
and it's the knight and flame sword, right? And I've been
and the
using
stomp.
it too.
Come on, we saw the
I've
videos of
never
that
used
stomp.
that stomp.
Ridiculous.
Not
I never
once.
used it either.
So
So
here's the other thing that I'll say about
let me
it.
interrupt you right there, Chance. Hold on. Let me interrupt you first. I never used either of those weapons, and I still beat the game. That's my point. If
That's
I can beat
great.
this
Yes.
as a new player,
Yes.
you guys will be able to beat the game.
I'm not
with whatever
arguing that I
weapon you
can't.
choose.
Here's how I'm going to help you empathize with us, because that was one of Alan's points. Just stop being whatever it is you're being and just be our friend and be like, yeah, that sucks, guys. Imagine the very first time you ever played Mass Effect, right? And you get that Matic and you're loving it and you have all these biotic powers and stuff and you're going through, and then all of a sudden they're just like, yep, the Matic sucks all of a sudden. Or they just go in and make a patch.
It needs a nerf. It's OP.
Okay, sure, but like just imagine that, like a game that you have sunk a ton of hours into in a weapon, and that they're basically telling you, okay, the way you've been playing this is wrong and you have to like totally course correct and try to play it differently. I've respect like 4 or 5 times in the last day or so, trying to figure out anything other than incantation or the sorceries, because I don't want to do sorceries. And that's what my biggest issue with this whole thing is that they're forcing you down a path like this. I'm so happy that you beat it with a samurai, right? Like obviously it can't, I mean, we knew it could be done, but like I just assumed honestly that you switched it up and were doing sorceries and stuff. And that is what I feel like that patch did, was told me I had to play a certain way, even though there are so many of these different options out there. So I switched it up, and I have that Rivers of Blood katana, and I love it. I'm glad I'm doing it, and I keep the Knight and Flame as a backup, but it's just, it didn't make sense. Like that's what Alan was trying to say. Like just empathize with us for a little bit.
But can you empathize with the developers, though, Chance?
No, because what did they gain?
This is their creation.
Chapeau, weigh in. Declare a winner.
But hold on, Chance. I'm glad you at least admit, like, I showed you that the game can be beat, though, without either things. I never used the stomp, which was super OP. Come on, we saw the videos of some guys stomping the whole time, major bosses. Never got it. And I had the Sword of Night and Flame, and I never used it. So you guys will be able to beat this game. You just have to power level. It has nothing to do with the weapons in the end. In the end, it's all about having huge health and surviving and getting hits when you can.
Why haven't they patched the chicken farm?
Distract.
Right, where the bow and arrow.
I have no idea what that is.
You still haven't used the chicken farm? Oh my goodness.
No. Oh, where you shoot the thing and it falls over the cliff or something like that?
If they're, to me, that would make sense as a patch, right? Because they're saying...
Because they're saying you can level up all you want. Fine. It's just these certain weapons that you can't use. That's it. Like not even not used. They're too powerful. They're breaking what our.
It wasn't for me. I still had. It was still a challenge. I
agree, and I agree, and you will still have a challenge no matter what weapon. Like that's what I was also trying to get through to you guys. Is like no matter what you pick, or having the mimic tier at full health, you will still die, and it is still incredibly hard, and it's still going to take you getting lucky, you figuring out the boss, and you doing certain damage, because you are going to die no matter what weapon or mimic you have. So Jose, weigh in on this.
I mean, here's the truth. If I'm being real honest, I'm more on the side of Alan and Chance. But I understand what Dan's saying. Here's the problem, Dan. I think your argument is right. I agree with your argument. I think we're arguing different things. You're arguing about beating the game, that you can still beat it if you don't have these powerful weapons, and I agree with you. The reason I agree with Chance and Allen though is I think their argument is not that they can't beat the game, it's that they felt like they put a lot of time and effort into something that just one day got changed. And here's really what I think comes from. Here's where I think the biggest issue they did was they nerfed it so significantly. If they had said, "Look, we cut the power by 10%," people would have been like, "Oh, damn it, that sucks." But oh well. They're reporting 50% on the Mimic tier, dude. 50%. That is significant for any player. And here's where I think there are players who like. Let me put it this way. I am not that good at video games relative to you two. Like you two, whether you want to measure it by gamer score, hours played, like you guys play everything on insane difficulty. I play mostly on like novice and easy. Like I am just not the caliber gamer that you guys are. And so when I play games like this that are already significantly challenging, and I'm willing to do the work to get the cool weapons and get the cool sorceries and stuff like that, but it's a lot harder for me. And there were stories where like a guy was like, "I just got the Mimic tier 13 minutes ago, and then they patched it and I lost all that power." And that didn't happen to me. I didn't get the Mimic tier till after the patch, so I don't know any different. I'll be honest with you. So it's still great to me. I agree with you on that point.
And Alan doesn't have it either. Like that's the point. Like he hasn't even experienced the Mimic tier as something else. And
But I
go ahead.
but I think that I hear what you're saying about it's the creators' games, but I think they just did it very extremely into a game that's so passionate. And here's what I would actually say: they should be really proud, because the amount of just content and reviews and stories and memes, which we're going to get into, like the amount that has come from Elden Ring, they have just, you want to talk about slangers and bangers. This is hands down one of the most successful game launches I've ever witnessed in my lifetime, hands down.
For sure.
And so the fact that we're even arguing about this for like 20 minutes on our show, like it shows that they did a great job making the game. It's engaging.
And
it's
you're
engrossing.
proving my point for me. You're proving my point. This game is that good. I didn't even have any glitches. Maybe once I died where I was like, "What?" It's that good. They put that much effort into it. They damn well can change if a weapon is too freaking powerful. Like, look what they gave us. Like, exactly. That's my point.
What about like
come on,
Halo
guys.
and the lasso stuff, and that was easier than the doing it.
I wouldn't say some of that was easier than some of the challenge I've had doing this game. This game's easier. You know why? Because you can just go power up and level up, like you said, Chance. You can go to this chicken farm or wherever and shoot that thing or kill those things.
I love that chicken
farm. You can
farm.
be so OP that you will. It doesn't matter what weapon. I get like.
But so then, what's the point? That's what I don't.
You're right.
That's
You're right.
That's what you're
right.
not listening to. That it was just like randomly. Okay, and there's what, maybe 15 of us that are all playing this that we talk to all the time, and it was just me and Alan, the weapon that just me and Alan.
Yeah,
have
you guys are
been
the
using.
only ones losing it. I haven't heard from Cordy. I haven't
Because
heard from
nobody
anyone
else is
all
using
these.
those weapons, is using that weapon. And so, again, just so imagine if your Rivers of
I feel
Blood
like it
katana
sucks, but
just
you
all
got to
of a
adapt.
sudden-
Then I'd use another. I'd use Moonveil, or
if
even
all
my
the
base
katanas.
katana. My base katana is fine enough as is because bleed damage is where it's at. Like you just have to figure out another way. I get it. You wanted to play a certain way, and again, I still think Alan and you could have continued with that weapon and been fine.
I still
and
do.
with your mimic.
I
and
still
been
do.
fine.
I have Tish, so I'm not going to use the Mimic anyway. But
Okay, exactly. That would still great. Even the jellyfish, like they're there just to distract and be alive for as long as possible for you to do as much damage as possible. My argument is you shouldn't be so upset and want to quit the game when like you don't even know what you're missing out on. One and two. Keep going with what you have.
Nobody
keep
said
going and
quit
see
it.
if you would beat the game.
And I think that what made it more upsetting was just the backlash that we got for complaining about it and whining about it. Because I kind of disagree with you in the idea that it's not their game now. It will always be their game. It will always be their game. It's our game now too, right? Like the second they put it out there, it's mine. It's ours.
I mean,
Yeah,
look, at the
and
end of the
then that's
day,
where you get the stupid Mass Effect endings, and they add it, and that was BS. They shouldn't have had to do that. The game was fine how they were, and that makes me mad. A bunch of whiny babies saying, "Oh, this ending isn't how I anticipated it." It's not
You're
your game,
making my
man. You
point
didn't
for
create
me
it.
then.
No, dude.
They went
No,
back
I'm saying
and they
I'm saying no.
changed
I'm saying they
things.
shouldn't have. Yeah, I'm
They
saying they
went
shouldn't have.
back
They
and
shouldn't have done
changed
that. They went
things
back,
after
and I'm
they
saying
released the
BioWare
game that
shouldn't
they
have done
wanted
that.
to
I'm saying I
release.
disagree with them doing that, and I don't think it added that much to the endings.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. You guys can continue on and you would be fine and you could just power level. It doesn't matter what weapon you have, you guys. That Sword of Night and Fire or whatever the heck it is, it wasn't going to beat the game for you. It wasn't going to be this game changing thing. Neither was the Mimic tier. And that's what what I'm trying to stress to you is that I know you like your build. Stick with it, and you're gonna be fine. It sucks. I agree. It sucks. Your weapon isn't completely OP, but I'm arguing there's a reason they did that. You're right, Chance. They gave us this game with an incredible amount of depth and so much to do, and they are like, hey, we need to change this. That should say something to you about that gun and that Stormfrost. So go ahead and say sorry. I saw you raising your hand.
no, I mean, look, at the end of the day, none of us is right and none of us is wrong. We're just arguing because we can argue. At the end of the day, we still love the game. I mean, I think I'm at 50 hours. I don't know where Chance's at. I know Dan's at 100. Like, it's
Yeah.
an amazing game. And
85.
all
Oh, I was gonna say Chance has to be because if he's got the rivers of blood, he's got to be close to
85,
them.
yeah.
Did you fight the fire guy, the fire giant? Because that's where you get the rivers of blood. Is right before him.
I'm at the Firejoint.
I
He's
just
a pain in
beat
my
him today.
freaking
Yeah,
butt. I hate him.
I beat him first try. First try.
Oh my god. Shut
And we're
up.
talking.
Oh,
talk
sorry.
about
Second
something
try. It was
needing to be
second try. Second
nerfed.
try.
Jeez.
Second try. Second try. Second try.
Anyway, it's a great game.
Just ride the
Let's-
horse.
let's-
You just ride the horse.
Is anybody playing anything else? I am not playing anything else. I'm just trying to get through Elden Ring.
Yes, I actually had. So I just want to say, guys, stick with your builds. And
I did. I don't know how
We're
many
not-
times I had to tell you that.
Well, I'm proud of you, and you're gonna beat the game just fine. I'm proud of you. Thank you. And Mimic Tier is not gonna beat the game for you. That's what I was trying to say, Jose, and that's what I felt like Alan was saying is like he almost wanted to quit the game because his build was broken, and I was like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. Like, don't hate the game just because of this slight change. And I get it. It sucks. I was freaking out. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Mimic Tier nerf, I was like, I use that guy a lot. But like I said, he got through the final boss, both phases till the end, just to be there as a distraction. So he still owns, and you can use Black Knife. So I moved on. I was exhausted after beating Elden Ring. Though I literally spent from like 8:30 to 2:30 a.m. trying to beat that boss 3 times. So please don't do what I did.
Wait, can you explain to me why you had to beat it 3 times? I don't understand. Is this because of the 1,000 out of the 1,000?
There's 3 endings. Yeah, and
Oh.
exactly. So you have to beat the boss 3. Well,
You
actually,
don't have
just
to beat the boss 3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
don't-
You
that's
only
why
had to beat the boss
It was
once,
so
and
funny
then you
when
have
you
to
said that
do
because
3
I was
different
like,
things.
wait, did he play it 3 times or did I don't know. Did you beat it too soon that you didn't realize how? Yeah, explain to us why you had to do it 3 times.
So basically, I'll explain it, Jose. Right after you beat the final boss, there's a site of grace that you can save right away. Convenient. And then you have to make like a decision, right at the end. One of the decisions is one of the endings, one is the other, and one you have to go like do some other work, but I had already done that. I had set up for that. You have to do that one last, by the way. If you're going to do this, make sure you do the being scarred one last. So I read the directions on PowerPix. It's like, quit your game. Or no, it didn't say quit game. It just said go to options, say manage your save data. After I went to that side of grace and saved, right? It said walk around, disconnect from internet. I did that. Reconnect to internet. I did that. It's what the problem was is it wasn't shutting down correctly, Chance. Did you ever quit out of the game incorrectly? Like if you didn't go over to LBE and then
I
say
always
quit
do
game?
that because the first
Exactly.
time I always,
Yes,
always,
it
always
said-
do that.
It gives you a warning saying it didn't shut down properly.
Yep.
So I needed to do that. So I think what you need to do. So basically, Jose, after you quit out of the or disconnect from the internet, your cloud save should have been shot up to the cloud, right? Mine wasn't being sent to the cloud. Instead, it loaded me at my previous cloud save that had been uploaded, which was at the site of grace before the final boss. So, I forgot to add in there. After you upload your save, you're supposed to delete your save file off of your Xbox. So when you start the game again,
Terrifying.
it pulls the save from the cloud.
Terrifying.
Exactly. And And then if you had done it right, it would be at that side of grace, and then I could just pick my other endings, right? It never worked for me. I did it. I did it 3 times, Chance, and so it would load me back right before the boss. So after I beat the boss the first time and I was like exhausted, it's like it didn't work. And so I had to do it 3 times. That's when I put on Lionel's armor and I was like, I'm not doing this. And it took me forever. I even tried, by the way, guys, calling in for help with the fingers. Never could get a guy to join me. I don't know what was going on with the multiplayer. I hear that's not the best either. I was trying to get somebody to come help me at this point, but basically, save at the site of grace, quit out of your game, go load up a second character, go have him level up or something, quit out of your game, end the game. Hopefully it loads a save file, restart your game, and then you can do the delete from your Xbox, boys, if you want to go for that.
You know that they in 1997 they invented this thing called YouTube. You can just watch the endings there. I just want heads up for next time.
Oh, it has nothing to do with watching them.
Yeah.
The story is pure caca.
Exactly. I didn't even watch the innings. Like I don't even care. I skipped them just to make sure I got the achievement pop.
When I was, well, never mind. I can't say it.
All right, folks, you
But
heard it here
I
first.
watched-
Remember the
watched a
resolution
cut-
we heard back in January? I'm not going to worry about achievements in games. I'm just going to enjoy them for pure
That's
fun.
true. But if it's a game I really love, I loved Elden Ring, I knew I was going to go for it. And it's not that hard. The hardest part
It's really not.
is the one boss. It's that one boss.
Yeah.
Like the other ones are not. It's collecting things. You'll be able to go. Oh, there is a missable weapon that you have
I
to get
missed
before
it
the
already,
city.
so I'm gonna have to do a new game plus to get it. I'm so mad.
Well,
and
yeah,
it's,
but
it's
you can
really
go straight
easy
back
on.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
but
can
I was
go back
still
to
I
get
was
to that.
I mad like it'll take an extra 10 minutes. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I never would have thought of that to do that. And that's the other thing about this game. Could you imagine? I can remember it was the
It's so
guy
good, you guys.
the guy that was on the trophy room with Joseph when he did the review for it, was like, I want to try this no guides whatsoever. And I remember thinking the same thing. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. No way.
You could do it now, right? Are you saying before you played the game?
Before.
Oh
Yeah, if I did a new
impossible.
game plus, absolutely. But like, ugh. I can't even imagine
Jose,
how people are doing
you're
that.
at the Fire Giant. I just want to catch up. So you're at the Fire Giant. So you're close to the end too. You're on
Yeah,
the home
you're
stretch.
right there.
Chance, have you gone to the bonus area where Melania is?
Yes.
Did you beat her?
I have not beaten
Michaela,
her.
you mean.
I'm
Melania.
no Melania.
Melania.
Oh, so I don't have
She's
to
the
beat
worst
Melania to go to the last one?
No, she's optional.
No, there's a
in
secret
that
area.
Halig
There's, like,
tree. She's
completely
totally optional. I got to the room like outside of her, and I kept hearing that she was the hardest, so I went and did some other things. Right now, right before I got on here, I'm on the Dragon Lord Placidux.
Oh yeah.
Placidus or something.
I almost missed him.
Which is not easy to get to, and that reminds me of Sekiro. The trek you have to take every time you die. It's not
Which isn't even
hard.
that bad.
No, it's not hard, but it's
the
like
worst trek was the book lady.
yeah. But
That
that's
was the worst
and that's
trek.
I'm
I
thinking
thought that
back
one
to
was easy.
Sekiro.
Through the academy? That was nothing.
It
No,
was
when
just,
you died,
it was pointless,
going back
though.
to fight
It
her
was like,
was-
ugh,
Yeah, but-
I have to do this again, and I have to run all the
Yes.
way up here.
Did
and I
you
have to
not
do
open
this,
that
and I have to
side
do
door?
that.
Exactly. And they'd given you one of those. Yes, but it still was a pain. I had to run past those guys.
You had
and
to run
everything, and
past
they're
3
shooting their
guys?
Freaking
I'm
magic at
sorry
me.
that your first world problems
It
are
was
like
still-
taking over your life.
Still pain. Still pain. All I'm saying is, basically every other boss they had this stake right there. Why for that one there wasn't one? Like, usually
Because
they're
they had to
reasonable.
do a little bit of old school Souls and Sekiro, and so
I guess. So Jose, yeah, there's a whole area you don't really have to do. Like once you beat the fire, like you basically, he's right there, right? Like after you do that, does it send you somewhere? Or
it sends
no,
you
it
to the
sends
final
somewhere
area.
after. Oh, okay.
To the crumbling azure.
Okay.
Which is
And then
still.
once you get through
it's
that-
funny. I remember
which is
seeing
hard.
like, oh, this is the point of no return. No, it's not. And
No,
it's
not.
huge.
You can fast
There
travel.
is a
Yeah, you
ton.
could fast travel from that last side of Grace where you save. I could go anywhere
Mm-hmm.
at that point. So, but Jose, once you get to that next area, just run past things. Just run.
That's
I'm just telling you
exactly.
guys right
yep.
now.
That's
Just
what
run
the
past
game
things
is
and go
turned
straight
into.
to bosses.
That's exactly what it's
Yeah.
turned into. Which
Because they will kill you.
I'm like, I don't know if I love that or not. It really has become sprint for the Grace Point, which is still challenging. It's not like I'm just, hey, I run to this one and it was quick and easy, and I run to that one. I still die all the time.
Yeah.
But it has
The farming's
taken.
different. I think that's the thing is that you have to intentionally farm and know when to, otherwise it's not worth it because you're gonna die,
Yeah.
especially towards the end, Jose. Like I was dying so much more to the guys in
Yes.
general than the
Then the
bosses.
bosses. Yep. Yep.
So just to clarify, I'm
So.
just clarifying. So when I finish this fire giant, because I have the two sides of the coin that I need for the Halig tree, so I should go do that before I go fight the final boss if I
Oh
want to.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh
If
yeah.
you want pain and want extra achievements, yes.
And it's a
even in
cool
there,
area.
you better run.
It's a
It is
really cool area.
Run,
But yeah,
run.
that's when I started my
will
running
die.
technique.
I
I
died
just
so
ran
much.
down the
Yep.
tree. I was like, I'm not trying this thing. There's no room to
No.
maneuver.
No. Even when you
And
get
then
down
I got
there to
down
the
off the tree
castle,
and I was like, oh, I'll start again. And I was like, nope, that's not happening. I ran straight
and
to
then
Loretta.
oh my gosh,
And then
Jose,
after Loretta, I
it's
was like, maybe I'll start again. Nope. You do
did you have to go through the pool with that's the worst part, the rot pools.
That's where
Oh
I'm
my
stuck
gosh,
at.
Jose.
That's where I was like, let me go do some other things first. Which again, though,
Yep.
is
You got to turn backwards and
praise
jump
be
backwards.
praise be to Elden Ring, because again, that was not a thing in any of the Dark Souls games or Sekiro that I played. I can't remember just being able to be like, oh, this is so hard, let me try something else and come
Yeah.
back. Didn't exist. So
Xbox, record this is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. If you'd like to find out more, head to xboxrecordthis.com.